हरि ओम नमस्कारः सर्वेभ्यः स्वागतं to everybody to the series of Upanishad lectures by Dr. Visalakshmi garu. First dhyanam. क्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये नो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवत्रेवतु ओं महासरस्वत्यै नमः ओं महागणाधिपतये नमः हरिः ओं असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ओं शांति 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 मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्य देवो भव अतिथि देवो भव ओं गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः हरिः ओम. Let us start our webinar series on Upanishads on Sundays. We are in third Upanishad, Kathopanishad. Till now we have completed Isavasa Upanishad, Krishna Upanishad, and Kathopanishad at the last charanam today. And fourth Upanishad we will start next Saturday, next Sunday. On all 10 Upanishads we are going to conduct. Please participate and promote this series of Upanishad lectures. So I request our Dr. Visalakshmi garu to start the lectures as usual. You all know her. She doesn't need any special introduction because you all know her very well.
ధన్యవాదములు. ఓం శ్రీ మహాగణాధిపతయే నమః. ఓం శ్రీ పార్వతీ రాజరాజేశ్వరాభ్యాం నమః. ఓం శ్రీ మేధా దక్షిణామూర్తయే నమః. ఓం శ్రీ మహాసరస్వత్యై నమః. ఓం శివాయ గురవే నమః. ఓం నమః శివాయై చ నమః శివాయ. ఓం నమః శివాయ. ఓం సహనావవతు సహనౌ భునక్తు సహ వీర్యం కరవావహై తేజస్వినావధీతమస్తు మా విద్విషావహై. ఓం శాంతి శాంతి శాంతి. ఓం నమో భగవతే వైవస్వతాయ మృత్యవే బ్రహ్మ విద్యా ఆచార్యాయ నచికేతసే చ. We are learning about Kathopanishad, and today is the last charana, fifth part of Kathopanishad. We have completed 5 vallis out of 6 vallis. Today the last valli we are going to know and complete it according to the time and schedule. So if any doubts are there, you can ask me after the completion of this Kathopanishad. So the last valli itself starts with a very wonderful comparison, and in fact it is a very beautiful mantra sloka which speaks about the universe, the creation with the Ashwetha tree, with a very big, we call this in Telugu as a Ravi Chettu, with the people tree we call in English. So Urthva Moolam Avakshakha ఏషోశ్వత్థ సనాతనః తదైవ శుక్రం తద్బ్రహ్మ తదేవామృతముచ్యతే తస్మిన్ లోకాః శ్రితాః సర్వే తదు నాత్యేతి కశ్చన ఏతద్ వై తత్. Now again, whenever etat vay tat comes, we must understand that here Yamadharmaraja, the Acharya Guru, is advising Nachiketa Tattvamasi Mahavakyopadesha. So this is the beginningless people tree, Ashwetha Vriksha, that has the roots above and branches below, downwards. Normally to the ordinary trees in this world, as we see, the roots will be under the ground and the tree grows up and the branches, sub-branches, fruits, leaves, fruits, flowers and all would be visible to us, whereas the roots we can never see. If we see the roots, cut it, then the tree would not exist at all. So the root is the cause of the growth of the tree. But here the Upanishad speaks of this world with Aswetha Vriksha. Shveha means tomorrow. Na Shveha, Ashveha. Stha, tishta, to stand, to stay. So that which does not exist for tomorrow, that is which is very tentative, temporary, that which cannot exist forever is called as Ashwetha. So this world also, the creation also, it is all illusion. It appears as if it is there. But the moment we get the right knowledge, the creation, the Srishti disappears for us, for that Jnani. So this people tree, this Aswetha Vriksha, the Upanishad speaks about, that which is its root is pure Parabrahman. And that Brahman is called as the root of this Sansara Vriksha is Parabrahman, which is immortal. On that are fixed all the worlds. We speak of 14 lokas, Cheturdasha, Bhuvanani and all. So all the worlds exist on it, but none transcends that. So this is that about which you have asked. That's what Yama is speaking to Nachiketa. So in this mantra sloka, Parabrahman is explained as efficient cause. There are efficient cause, and that is we say Upadana Karana and Nimitta Karana. So here efficient cause means Upadana Karana. Seeing the fruit, we know the tree. Seeing the cotton, we guess that the tree is cotton tree. So seeing the mango fruits, we know that the tree is mango tree. So like that, seeing the effect, we guess the cause. Seeing the world, we guess that there must be a cause for this universe, for this world, the creation. So the maker, when we see any object or article, we know that there must be a maker of it, one who makes that. Similarly, when we see the world, this prapancha, jagat, we know that there must be a creator. Who is that creator? It is Brahman. He is Brahman. Ashwetha, as I said, Shveha na tishtati iti Ashwetha, that which will not exist for tomorrow. Tomorrow means not just for tomorrow, hereafter. So it is temporary. Seeing the tree outward, we know that the roots are there. Unless roots are there, the tree cannot go. Unless Paramatma is there, the world could never come out like this. So, seeing the world, we know that Brahman is there, God exists. If we pour water to the roots, then the tree grows. The tree is visible, roots are invisible. So the world is visible, but Parabrahman is invisible. The cause, Karya is seen by us. Karana, we cannot see directly. So through the Samsara Vriksha, we should know about Brahman, which is the substratum to all. That Brahman is all powerful, and also he controls the whole creation. And when the officer is there in the office, automatically all the employees, they work very sincerely and correctly. If the officer is not there, If sincerity is there in the office, other people, staff of the office, they do work. Otherwise, in fact, that sort of discipline would not be there. So the Shasaka must be there. Out of Shasana Bhaya of Paramatma only, everything, all the gods are doing their duties. Even the Prakriti also. There are several similarities of an Aswetha Vriksha and the Jagat. Because this world creation, Jagat is compared with the tree. When anything is compared with anything, similarities must be there. When we say the face of the heroine, the poets describe about the face of the Nayika. Her face is as bright, lustrous, and attractive as that of the moon. So the similar qualities are there. Similarly, here this Aswetha Vriksha and Jagat, what are the common qualities among both of them? Several are there. First, Mahatva is there. Aswetha tree is very big. Even this world is also very big. Mahatva, we can say bigness, expansion. Then Adyanta Rahitatva. They say Pravaha Nityatva. The Pravaha, the water, stream of water would be continuously going on and it is there. Never even a drop, the drop of water never gets repeated. The water would be completely flowing and going away. But a new water is coming, yet that is water only. But that drops of water which are here first are not here. They come to here, then again they go away. Some other new water comes. Similarly, the living creatures, all the Jantu, Vriksha, Manava, Jatis and all. Though individuals take birth, they live for a while and go away, leave the body, die, decay. Even then the Jati exists and the creation continues. So, the Adi Anta Rahitatva, the world, we cannot say, of course, the world, it according to Advaita, it does not exist at all, it is only Mithya. But for Dvaita, for our Anubhava, it is there. So, when Adi is there, Anta would be there. Adavante cha yen nasti vartamanepi the Jagat and the Aswetha tree. First one is Mahatva, we said. Then second one is Adi Anta Rahitatva. Adyanta Rahitatva. Pravaha Nityatva, we said. So the tree, we do not know whether the tree came first or the seed came first. First, from the seed the tree comes. Unless tree is there, seeds cannot come. So we cannot say. Similarly, the Jagat also, our lives also, the Janma would be due to karma. But unless Janma, birth is there, we cannot do any karmas at all. So is the karma first or Janma first? We cannot say. So it is like a sort of vritta where the starting and end, closing cannot be identified. So no beginning, no end. Adavante cha yen nasti vartamanepi tattatha se karika. So that which is not having either beginning or end, even though it appears as if it is there in the beginning, it says that it is not at all existing, it's only a sort of prema. So the third point, similarity is anirvachaniyatva. We cannot say which is actually karya and which is karana. So the seeing the karya, we know about the karana. Unless karana is there, karya cannot come. So karya karana sambandha is there between the Jagat and Paramatma also, karma and janma also, tree and seed also. So now fourth one similarity is Mula Tattva. So the roots are not seen either to the tree or to the world, to the whole universe, to the creation. The root is Parabrahman, which cannot be seen either by the mind or by the sense organs. So similarly for the tree also, the roots we cannot see. They are under the tree, yet the tree is going and it is growing and it is seen, visible. So to know Brahman from Nama Rupa Jagat only, it is called as Tatastha Lakshana of Paramatma, Parabrahman. Then Shakhatva, having the shakhas, the branches. Even to the tree there are several branches above and below on all sides also. Similarly, for this world also, elders said there are 7 Urtva Lokas, 7 Atho Lokas. So there are several lokas. Then another similarity is Phalavatva, the fruit. The tree contains 3 varieties of fruits. Sweet fruits we can get bitter fruits, and we can get a sort of mixed taste. Similarly, in this world also, 3 varieties of fruits are there in this Jagat for our experience. We get Sukha, we get Dukkha, and Sukha Dukkha Misrita Phala is also there. Now, 7th common quality, similarity between the Jagat and Vriksha, Aswatha tree is Ashritatva. The birds and so many other living creatures, they take resort on the tree. Similarly, even the musical birds are there. They amuse everyone whenever the birds are chirping or producing noise sound. That would be very melodious to listen, and we enjoy it. Similarly, to this world also, Asritatva, all the Jivatmas, the birds in the form of Jivatmas, take resort on the tree, that is in this Aswatha tree, the Samsara Vriksha, in this world, in the birth. In our birth lifetime, many people, all of us, we do celebrations, marriages, festivals, get together, happiness and all. And also we celebrate Aurtvadaihika karmas with Dukkha and all. So, and last quality, similarity we can say is Chalanatva, Chalana, motion, movement. The tree is very big, it is growing on very big, and one day it will fall down. Similarly, all the human beings, they are Asti Jayate Varthate Viparinamate Apakshiyate Vinasyati. All of them undergo all Shadbhava Vikaras, and at the end they have to die. So, and another similarity we can say Chedakatva, Chedatva, that is to cut. The tree can be cut. And even then, suppose the branches are cut, the tree again grows. Chinnopi rohati taruhu. But when the roots are cut, the tree can no more grow. Similarly, the samsara vriksha also, the ignorance and ajnana is the root for this sort of life of individuals, jivatmas. The samsara bandhana, how to cut it with the jnana. The jnana in the form of the acts, in the form of jnana, we must cut our ignorance. Then our samsara bandhanas would be relieved of. So thus the Urtva Moolam Avakshaka, Esha Ashwetthaka Sanatanaka. It is Sanatana, and it is Tadaiva Shukram Tad Brahma. Tat eva amritam uchyate, that is called as the immortal. Tasmin lokaha sritaha sarve, all living creatures are taking resort of in this world of the tree. Tadu natyeti kashana. So that is a very beautiful mantra, first mantra of 6th valli. Now 2nd mantra of 6th valli is Yadidam kimcha jagat sarvam prana ejati nisrutam mahad phayam vajram ujyantam ya etad vidur amritaste bhavanti te amritaha bhavanti. The whole universe, whatever exists here in this life on this earth, that springs from and vibrates in prana, prana shakti, the vital energy, cosmic energy we say. All the works in the world are being done by the fear of that Parabrahman, by the power of that Brahman, who is holding the upraised thunderbolt, Vajrayutha we say. The Paramatman is holding the thunderbolt, holding the hand. He is ready to punish whoever are not following his Rutam, the niyamas kept by him. So those who know this, they become immortal. How can they become immortal? Because those who know the Rutam of Paramatma, they follow that. So by leading Sanatana Dharmika way of life, according to the Shastrokta Vithi Vithana, they cross this world. By the ignorance would be removed. They gain knowledge. They cross the ocean of samsara and get mukti. So in this mantra sloka, the Upanishad is showing logical way of thinking to establish the truth that Brahman exists. Brahman is there. Paramatma is there. That is why this world is there. We are experiencing, we are seeing duality and everything. But the moment we get the real knowledge, for us, the world would not be there. But it exists for others. So because Brahman is there, due to the fear of that Brahman, the creation is existing. Everyone is doing their respective duties, including all the gods, nature, deities and all. When Karya is there, we know that Karana must be there. So the world is seen, experienced. So we know someone who created this world must also exist. So now who is that? Who is the creator of this world? It is Brahman, says the Upanishad. So we must have the confidence, Radha, in the words of Upanishads. Then we can know that Brahman is Upadana Karana of this Jagat, and also Upadana Karana means material cause, and like the mud to the pot. Then like it is the Nimitta Karana of the world also. Nimitta Karana is like the potter to make the pot. So Brahman is both Upadana, Nimitta Karana for this Jagat is established by this mantra sloka here. So he who knows that Brahman is Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karana to this Jagat definitely gets liberated because he got the correct knowledge of it. Similarly, due to the Shasana Phaya of Paramatma, Vayu, Indra, etc., all the gods, they are all functioning properly. The nature is functioning. All human beings are. Our lives also are being be properly led by us with proper knowledge. Now the third mantra is Phayadasya Agnistapati Phayatapati Suryaka Phayad Indrasya Agnisya Mrityurthavati Panchamaka. From the fear of him, Paramatma, Parabrahman, the fire burns, the wind blows, the sun shines. Even Devendra takes care of all the three worlds. Yamadharmaraja is also doing his duty properly by the Shasana Phaya of that Paramatma. So in this mantra is also showing Jiva Brahma Aikyata. Everyone is afraid of Yamadharmaraja, but Yamadharmaraja is afraid of Parameswara, Paramatma Shasana Bhaya. That means the fear of death goes away from us to all the jivas, those who take resort in Paramatma, Parameswara. So this is the explanation of Jiva Brahma Aikyata. Now next fourth mantra is Ihache Dashakad Bodhum Prak Sharirasya Visrasaka Tataha Sargeshu Lokeshu Sharirattvaya Kalpate. If one realizes the Brahman here in this human birth before leaving the body, certainly gets liberated from the chains of birth and death. If we cannot realize Brahman here in this birth with this Upathi, again we have to take birth after another birth. So in this mantra sloka, Yamatharmaraja is showing Brahma Jnana is the means of attaining moksha, mukti. He is also explaining many more means, sadhanas, to attain that eternal knowledge, jnana. Yamatharmaraja is explaining about the nature of moksha and the result of it in the following mantra slokas, coming slokas. So this mantra is praising the greatness of the human birth, Manava Janma, which alone is the means to attain Brahma Jnana. So another Upanishad also said the same idea. Iha ched avedi datha satyamasti, no ched avedi mahati vinashti. So we must get Brahma Jnana in this birth itself and get liberated. Now, the following mantras explain how we can get mukti in whichever loka. In all the lokas, the mukti is possible, but how is explained in this mantra? Yatha adarshe, adarsha means mirror. Yatha darshe tatha atmani. Yatha swapne tatha pitruloke. Yatha apsu pariva dadrshe tatha gantharvaloke. Chaya tapayoriva brahmaloke. So Brahma Jnana can be obtained so as one sees in a mirror, we can get here in this human life. So when we got human upati, manava upati, through our intellect, the Brahman reflects in our intellect and we can experience directly just as we see the pratibimba in the mirror. Bimba, Pratibimba. They are very clear when the mirror is clean. Thus we can see Brahman with this Manava Upati. Then we can get liberated, moksha also. Then as we see in a dream, we see in Pitruloka. Suppose the Jiva reaches to Pitruloka, there also they can see this Brahman. But as if we are seeing in a dream. What we see in the dream cannot exist at all. As long as we are in the dream state, they are real. When we come to Jagrata Avastha, they disappear. So the Brahman's experience is also like that in Pitruloka. So as we see in the water, our reflection, so we can see in Gandharva Loka. In the water, when the water is without any movement, motion, waves and all, then we can see our reflection. But the moment a little any stone is thrown or anything, the wave comes, then we cannot see. Similarly, in the Gandharva Loka also, Brahman cannot be experienced directly. As it is in case of shade and light, shadow and light. When an article is there, when the light is there, the shadow is seen as clearly as that of the object. Even our shadows we can see as we see ourselves. Thus we can see Brahman in Brahmaloka. Suppose we reach by our karma and upasana clubbed when we do, then we can reach up to Hiranyagarbha Loka. That is Chaturmukha Brahma Deva Sloka. There we can see Parabrahman like the object and its shadow. That is Kramamukti. When we go to reach Brahmasthana, we can get Kramamukti automatically. So but we do not know. We are not sure whether after leaving this body, we are sure, certain to enter into that Chaturmukha Brahma Loka. So the human upati we got in this very birth, in this very life with this upati, it is very easy for all human beings to get the correct knowledge and to get liberated, says this Katha Upanishad in this, through this mantra sloka. So the best option is to get Brahma Jnana in this very life. So the efforts should be made for self-realization, Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana. Now, how is Brahman to be known and what is the need of Brahma Jnana? This is being answered in the following mantra sloka. Sixth one, 18 mantras are there. Indriyanam pruthak bhavam udayastamayau chayat pruthak utpadyamananam matva dhiro na sochati. Having known the dissimilarity of the senses that originate separately, as also their rising and setting, the intelligent man, that is a dhira, the dhira does not grieve. Dhira in Vedanta does not mean a brave person who got bhujabala, shakti and all. Those who got sense control, those who got discriminative power, they are dhiras. So one who gets the sense control, and also one who got shraddha in the shastra, then only Guru Vakya, Shastra Vakya, Shraddha is necessary for getting this real knowledge. So the sense organs are not I. The body is not I. I am the Sakshi Chaitanya, seeing the whole universe, seeing my body, seeing my sense organs, which are being utilized by me as the means for attaining jnana, Brahma jnana. Those who realize this get liberated. So I am different to my body, I am different to my senses. Nakam deho nendriyan yantarangaka, says Adishankara Bhagavad Pada. So that is the sadhaka must differentiate between Atma and Anatma. Atma Anatma Viveka must be there. I am not all this. I am Sakshi Chaitanya. Knowledge should be acquired. Even that can be acquired only through sharpened intellect only. In I, Aham, 4 items exist. Stula Sharira is there, Sukshma Sharira is there, Karana Sharira is there, and also the Shuddha Chaitanya, the Chit Shakti, Parat Tattva is also there. So when we get the knowledge of Tvam Pada, then Tat Pada Jnana also would be obtained by us, and then Tat Tvam Aikyata becomes possible. So the Jnana, the Tat Pada Aikyata, that is through this mantra sloka here. In Taittiriya Upanishad we come across Panchakosha Vicharana, but it is done in this mantra in Kathopanishad also. So Manasaha Sattvam Uttamam, Vijnanamaya Kosha is greater. It is greater than even Manomaya Kosha. Sankalpa Vikalpa Atmika Manaha we say, and then Nischayatmika Buddhiki. Mahan Atma can be taken as Samishti Buddhi Shakti. Then from Vyashti we travel to Samishti. That is from Stula we travel to Sukshma Tattva. From Avyakta, Avyakta can be considered here as Anandamaya Kosha. Then from Vyakta we have to reach Avyakta Sthiti. So the same idea is explained in Kathopanishad earlier also, then Bhagavad Gita slokas also. So thus this is another way of, then it continued the idea. Avyaktattu parapurusho vyapakaha alinga evacha yam jnatva muchyate jantuhu amrutatvancha gacchati. But superior to the unmanifested is the Purusha, who is all pervasive and is indeed without worldly attributes, without any gender, and knowing whom a man becomes freed and attains immortality. So Purusha is Parabrahman. Now the 9th mantra is Na sandrushe tishtati rupamasya na chikshusha pashyati kascha nainam na yenam hruda manisha manasa abhiklupto ya etad vidur amrutaste bhavanti te amrutaka bhavanti. In this mantra sloka, how to have the vision of incomprehensible Brahman is explained. So Brahman does not have any form. He is Nirakara, Nirguna, Niranjana, and Ashabdam, Asparsham, Arupam, Avyayam has come in this Upanishad only. So that is which cannot be seen by our eyes, through our sense organs we cannot experience that. Nobody can see him with the eye. This self would be revealed through deliberation. Yame Vaishavrunite tena lapyaha, said in another Upanishad. Tasya Shatma Vivrunite Tanun Swam. It is realized by the sharpened intellect. So that Brahman resides in our heart. So he who knows this secret, he becomes liberated. He becomes immortal. The one who realizes that Brahman is I, Brahman is in me, becomes liberated. So this Brahman is Manovacham Agochara. And that is why another Upanishad also said, Na tatra vag gacchati, na tatra vag gacchati no manaka. So thus in this mantra, importance of chitta ekagrata, concentration of the mind, is explained, is spoken of. Yada panchavatishtante jnanina manasa saka buddhischa na vicheshtate tamakuku paramam gatim. So when the five senses of knowledge come to rest together with the mind and the intellect too does not function, that state they call as the highest state. So that is the stage of yoga, we can say. Keeping the senses under control is considered as yoga. Yoga is meant for developing concentration, chitta ekagrata, then antakarana vishuddhi. But not just by yoga one cannot get liberation, mukti. He can get the eligibility to get mukti. So one may become vigilant at that time, for yoga is the subject to growth and decay also. Tam yogamiti manyante stiram indriya dharanam apramattas tada bhavati yogo hi prabhavapyayau. Yoga means, we say yunja, to unite, aikyata, unity. It is framed from the root yunja means to unite, means to unite jivatma with paramatma. And yoga is also explained in Bhagavad Gita as yoga karmasu kausalam, the skillness of doing any work. Patanjali Maharshi said in Yoga Darshana as yogaha chitta vritti nirodhaha. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad speaks of Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. And yoga sadhana is explained in these two mantras, this 11th and 12th mantra also. The same is explained very actually these two mantras, 10th and 11, only in two mantra slokas Kathopanishad explained about this yoga, whereas the same idea is elaborated and explained in 47 slokas in 6th Adhyaya of Bhagavad Gita. Now 12th mantra is Naiva Vacha na Manasa Praptum Shekyo na Chikshusha Astiti Bruvataha Anyatra Katham Tadupalapyate. Upanishad is questioning us. That is, Yamadharmaraja is asking Nachiketa. He is advising another sadhana through this mantra to Nachiketa, that is to the entire manfolk. One more sadhana is given to us for us to attain Brahman. So the Brahman cannot be attained through speech, nor through mind, nor through even the sense organs, eye, nose, etc. How can that Brahman be known to anyone apart from him who speaks of it as existing? So those who believe that it exists can understand Brahman. By any sense organ, the Brahman cannot be known is the fact established everywhere. But through the help of the senses, through the help of the sharpened intellect, by discrimination, we have to know the truth. So though Brahman is devoid of all the attributes, lakshanas, gunas, yet Brahman is existing. This is the root of the universe. So the karya or the effect in the form of creation, when tracked back in an ascending order of subtleness, makes one apprised of the idea of existence as its ultimate resort. So those who believe that Brahman exists can really realize that it is he who is the subject, who is the drashta. Who is drashta? I myself am the drashta. So I am Brahman is explained here. So aham brahmasmi we say. So this aham brahmasmi, those who do not believe that it exists, how can they get this self-knowledge? They cannot get. How can they think of I am Brahman, aham brahmasmi, when they do not believe in aham itself? So those who believe Brahman, they can recognize, realize and experience that I myself am Brahman. So in this mantra sloka, Yamadharma Raja is speaking about the means of sadhana of attaining Nirguna Parabrahma. This is Nirguna Brahma recognition. So one must have astikya buddhi. Shraddha must be there. Then that Brahman exists, Brahman is there. It is described in this Upanishad only in Ashabdamasparsham Arupam Avyayam, that mantra sloka. So the mind can be concentrated on Saguna Brahma, but it is difficult even to think of Nirguna Brahma. So the Upanishad is speaking of the sadhana to concentrate on Saguna Brahma. Saguna Brahma Upasana is given to us, through which we can reach Nirguna Brahma Jnana. So Gita, Bhagavad Gita also said, Shraddhavan lapate jnanam, tat param samyatendriyaha, jnanam laptva param shantim, acharenathi gacchati. Shastra is the only pramana to know that Brahma asti, Brahman is, Brahman exists. So that is why taking the Shruti as pramana, we must realize that this Dvaita Prapancha we are experiencing is in fact Mithya. This can be known only by Shraddha, Astikya Buddhi. What is Shraddha is explained in 12th and 13th mantras. So Brahman is explained as Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat Swarupa, Satrupa Varnana comes several times at several places in all the Upanishads. Here in this mantra sloka, Chit Rupa Varnana is seen. So Brahman is Chit, seen as consciousness. Astitye Opalapthavyaha Tattva Bhavena Chopayo. Astitve Opalapthasya Tattva Bhavaha Prasidati. So Dr. Arvind Garu, please mute your video also. It is disturbing. So the self is to be realized as existing, and then as it really is. Of these two aspects, in fact, now the karya, when the karya is not there, but karana is there. Karana can be there. Karya may or may not be there. When karya is not there, even then karana lakshana is not there in that mud with which the pot karya has come out. Now what remains is karya karana vilakshana mrut eva. When mud is there, it is mrutpinda. Mrutpinda mekam bahu phanda. That is another idea they said. Only one mud is there, with that many vessels come out. Similarly, only one consciousness Brahman is there, which is appearing in the form of that is nanatva, manifold. So now we apply this to, that is karya karana vilakshana mrut. The mud is there, but the pot is not done, prepared from that. So karya is, this is neither karya nor karana, though it is existing. Because when the pot is made, then this mud can be called as the cause of the pot. When the pot is not done, the article is not prepared, yet the karana is there. Karya is not being done. Then that state we can say as karya karana vilakshana tattva. So thus this mruti is there. If we apply this formula to Jiva, Jagat and Brahman, then Jagat is Karya. Brahman is its Karana. So Jagat is considered as Mithya. Jivo Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Jivo Brahmaiva na Aparaka. So when Jagat is considered as Mithya, because unless Brahman exists, the Jagat cannot exist. So now Jagat Karya is not there. Only Karana Brahman is there. I do not know whether you are all able to follow. This is, if this formula is understood properly, then we can know what is Advaita. We can know about the original Tattva of Brahman, Jiva and Jagat. Such beautiful, subtle ideas are given in these mantra slokas of Kathopanishad. So when Karya is not there, then the Brahman does not have the Karana Lakshana. Now that remains, now what is remaining is Karya Karana Vilakshana Brahma. That is, Brahman is there, Varal is not there. So Brahman, he may or may not appear as if the Varal, he may or may not create the Varal. When he is not doing, he is not neither Karana nor Karya. He is Tatastha. He is there, it is there, only existence. He is in the form of Sat, Asti. So now Karya Karana Vilakshana Brahma is there, existing. So to accept Brahman as Jagat Karana is called as Adhyaropa. Always the Vedanta teaches this subtle subject in the form of Adhyaropa Apavada. First it speaks about Ati Aropa, Adhyaropa. Then Apavada. In both these two Lakshanas it explains. So Karyakarana Vilakshana Brahma is Nirvikara Brahma. Karana Brahma is Savikara Saguna Brahma. Saguna Brahma is there as long as Dvaita Bhavana is there. We feel that Brahman is there, that is Chaturmukha Brahma or God with attributes. The Varal is there. Then Saguna Brahma Upasana is very essential. Through that, when we recognize that this Varal is only Mithya, like the Swapna, like the dream. In the dream state, we consider that to be the fact. Yet, when we come out to Jagrata Avastha, Swapna is not there. It is only Pranti, illusion. Similarly, the Jagat also. So, this 13th mantra is very important mantra because this is the substratum to show the Adhyaropa and Apavada. Adhyaropa means making that Aropa, doing Aropa. The serpent is Aropita. It is being imposed on the thread, the Tadu, as we say, the rope. Rope is only rope is there. Serpent is not there, but serpent is superimposed. Adhyaropa is superimposition. Apavada is removing. When the light is there, then the rope appears as rope, and the serpent, where serpent has gone. In fact, serpent is not at all there, but it appeared as if it is like the serpent. That is Apavada. So we can see Stula Vastus, objects, but we cannot see the Sukshma Tattva of it. It is said that with Sukshma Buddhi is very essential to have the knowledge of Brahman. So through Sukshma Buddhi, sharpened intellect, that is why Yamatharma Raja said, Ascharyo Vakta Kushalosya Sishya Ascharyavat Pashyati Kastidenam आश्चर्यवत् वदति तथैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवत् च एनम् अन्यः शृणोति श्रुत्वापि एनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्. Everyone is wondering, seeing this whole creation with a great wonder, Ascharya, and also listens with much Ascharya, does experiences with great wonder. So even though such great wonder is there, we hear, listen, see everything, but we know nothing. We cannot understand anything. That is what is said here. So the real nature of the self that has been known as merely existing becomes favorably disposed. First, we must know this that the truth exists, that is, Brahman exists. Then we must experience the state of existence. If faith is there, one says it exists. That Brahma Astitva Jnana, Brahma Asmi, gives the experiential knowledge that Aham Asmi, I am, I exist. Aham Brahma, Brahma Asti, Aham Asmi, Aham Brahma Asmi. So Yamatharmaraja called this Aparuksha Jnana as Tattva Bhava Jnana in Kathopanishad. So from Brahma Nasti, the sadhaka travels through Brahma Asti and reaches to Brahma Asmi. I am Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. So when we say Brahma Asti, that Astitva is shown in the form of Karana, the reason, Karana Rupa. Therefore, Astitva Jnana is called as Karanatva Jnana. But this is not final knowledge. It is called as Tattva Bhava Jnana, which is shown as Karya Karana Vilakshana. So, therefore, Adisankara Bhagavatpada showed Astitva Jnana as Karanatva Jnana. Astitva means existence. Simple uniki, we say, it is, isness. So, that is Karanatva Jnana, and Tattva Bhava Jnana as Karya Karana Vilakshana Jnana. Karya and Karana, it is Vilakshana, different. It is neither Karana nor Karya, yet the knowledge is there. Who is that? It is I, the subject. The one who is talking is the subject. I myself am the Sakshi Chaitanya. I am Brahman, not the body, mind, senses. They are all instruments. They are all ephemeral. They fade away, go away. The knowledge alone remains. So this is shown as Acharopa Apavada Nyaya. For example, when we take a pot, the pot is Karya and the mud, Mrittika, is Karana. When the mud is established as the Karana, the cause, the pot is spoken as Mithya. Then why? Because unless mud is there, the pot cannot exist. The pot does not have the existence without the existence of the mud. Unless mud is there, pot cannot come. Unless Brahman is there, world cannot appear. Unless a rope is there, Sarpatva Bhavana cannot come. So for getting the Jnana Astitva, Anastitva is also needed, and depending upon the Astitva, Anastitva knowledge comes to us. So the pot does not have the existence at all without the mud. So Mrut, we say Mrittika, Mrittika vina khatam nasti. So the ghata, the pot does not have independent existence without the mud or Mrut. When Karya is not there, then the characteristics of Karana, the cause, also do not exist. When the article is not at all there, then the characteristics, how can they exist? So the world also is spoken of like this. So Nachiketa asked Yamatharmaraja as third boon, wanted to know what happens to Jiva after death. When one leaves the body and goes away, what happens? Is the Jiva dying or some others? Because Aste Cheke, Nayam Astita Cheke, that is the question. So for that, all these are the different answers given by Yamatharmaraja. यदा सर्वे प्रमुच्यन्ते कामा ये अस्य हृदि स्थिताः अथ मर्त्याः अमृतो भवति अत्र ब्रह्म समश्नुते. When all the desires clinging to one's heart fall off, then a mortal becomes immortal. He attains Brahman. So here on this earth, in this very life, we can attain Brahman is the assurance given in Kathopanishad. So even in Taittiriya Upanishad, we find the sentence Akamahataha Srotriyasya Ananda Anubhavan, like that. So one who is Srotriya, having the Shruti Jnana, Akamopahataha, not having any desires, he can experience that Brahma Jnana. So these 14th and 15th mantras, these two mantras, they show us. Now I explained the 14th mantra, 15th I am going to explain. Now the 14th and 15th mantras show us the fruit of Brahma Vidya Adhyayana. Why we have to study Brahma Vidya? What is the result? What is the fruit we are going to enjoy? That is shown through these two mantras, 14th and 15th. So this is very specially important mantra slokas. These two are specially for Advaitins. So with this mantra, Advaitins cut the doctrine of Visishta Advaitins who speak of Dvaita Tattva. So Advaita says that the moment one attains Brahma Jnana, that very moment he becomes Mukta. The moment the light is lit, the darkness has gone. We need not have to strive hard for removing the darkness. To lit the light is enough. When jnana comes, we get mukti. That's all. So whereas this is according to Advaita, whereas Visishta Advaitins do not accept this. They speak of Krama Mukti. They say we can never get liberated with this body if we are very much devoted towards Lord Sriman Narayana. We go to his abode. There Krama Mukti we must get. So yada sarve prephidyante hrudayasyeha granthayaka atha martyaka amruto bhavati etavadhi anuशासनम etavadhi anuशासनम. This is the 15th mantra sloka. What Yamatharmaraja is affirming, he is saying strongly that this is what is to be taught, and what all is to be taught I have taught. When all the knots of the heart are broken, when the knots are removed perfectly, when the knots are destroyed, even while a man is alive, then a mortal becomes immortal. This is the assurance given by the Upanishads, by Yamatharmaraja to entire mankind. This much is the instruction of all the Upanishads, said Yamatharmaraja. What all you wanted me to explain you, I have explained. So in the 14th mantra, it is said that if the desires are destroyed and one does not have any desires at all, he would become immortal. So what is the root of these desires and how to eradicate them is explained in this 15th mantra. So the root of our desires is the roots of the knots that exist in us, in our mind. There are 3 knots. They are spoken as Brahma Granthi, Vishnu Granthi and Rudra Granthi. So these 3 Granthis, the knots can be opened by proper knowledge, Yadartha Jnana. Jnana and Vairagya are very important to get mukti, liberation, which comes by breaking these three knots open. So the same idea is spoken in Mundaka Upanishad also in 2 to 8th mantra. Bhijyate Hridaya Granthihi Chidyante Sarva Samchayaha Kshiyante Chasya Karmani Tasmin Drushte Paravare. Granthi means Ajnana Bhavana, feelings of ignorance. Adi Shankara Bhagavad-pada said only the feelings of Ajnana are considered as the knots, Granthi. So when Ajnana has gone means Granthis, the knots are either open or removed. So in Vedanta, we can understand Granthi as that which ties the Jivatma with our Deha, with the sense organs, Indriyas and mind, Manas. So Mano, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara, etc. So this Dehatma Bhavana itself is Granthi. So that is to be removed. Now 16th mantra sloka says a very beautiful idea. Shatam Chaika cha Hrudayasya Nadyastasam Murthanamapi Nisruta Eka Taya Urthvamayan Amritatvameti Vishwanya Utkramane Bhavanti. So the nerves of our, actually scientists also said lakhs of nerves are there in our body. Even our Upanishad also says the same. Lakhs of nerves are there in our body. Out of them, 70 to 1,000 nerves are very important. Out of them, 101 nerves are very important. Out of them, 3 nerves, Ida, Pingala and Sushumna are most important nadis. Out of these 3 also, Sushumna nadi is the most important nadi through which we can become immortal. We can get liberated. We can get moksha. The nerves of the heart are 101 according to this mantra sloka. In number, 101 nerves are there. Out of them, the Sushumna Nadi passes through the crown of the head, Brahmaranthra Sthana. It is considered as Sahasrara Chakra. Going up through that nerve, one gets immortality. At the time of leaving the body, when the Prana Shakti, Jiva, travels upward and breaks open this Sthana, Brahmaranthra, and goes away with the help of Sushumna Nadi, they can get liberated. Going up through that nerve, one gets immortality. The others that have different directions become the cause of death. Either the life, if the prana leaves the body and goes away from the ranthras above the napi, they say they reach higher regions. But the jiva, the life that goes away, leaving the body from the holes below the napi, they have to go to, according to their karma phala, of course, they have to go to lower category births. So going up through the nerve is immortality. So different, the sadhaka or the upasaka leaves the body and goes out through Sushumna Nadi from the Brahmaranthra, travels through Shuklagati and enters Brahmaloka and becomes liberated. What happens to Jiva is the main question of Nachiketa. Yamadharmaraja has answered in several ideas in mantra slokas. Here in this sloka, finally he is saying how to get liberated, why people are taking birth as birds, beasts, animals, trees and all. So ordinary people go out of the body through one of the other ranthras and get birth after birth. The karmisti means only those who do only karmas sincerely as per Shastra. Even then, the karmisti travels through Dhuma Marga, then Krishna Marga, then enters heaven, enjoys there. Kshine Punye Marchalokam Vishanti, again takes birth. So, one who does karmas along with upasana, they go to higher residence than even Swarga. There they enjoy for more time. And but again, unless they get liberated, they have to come back. But those who did anasakta karma, as spoken in Bhagavad Gita, anaham karta bhavana, then they get liberated. Or those who got Brahma Jnana, they get liberated that very moment. Then those who did upasana along with karma, they the upasakas, they get kramamukti. They travel through Sukla Gati, then Krishna's Sukla Marga, Krishna Paksha, Sukla Paksha, they say. Then Deva Marga, they travel happily and then they enjoy a lot and finally they get liberated by the advice given by Brahmadeva or Vishnu, whatever, whomever they worship, that God advises them about Brahma Jnana, then they can get liberated. So the main teaching of this Upanishad is to advise Nirguna Brahma Jnana. The fruit of this Jnana is Jivan Mukti here now only. So this Upanishad speaks of the path through which the Ajnani goes. Ajnani does Saguna Upasana, enters Devalokas, Urthva Lokas, but takes birth again till he gets Mukti. So for Jnani, there is no travel at all. No travel. They need not have to take birth again. So here ends the Upanishad actually. The last mantra also must be said, 18th mantra. Then 17th and 18th, two more mantras. So the fruit of the study of Kathopanishad is to get mukti here in this birth only. Yamadharmaraja is finally advising and explaining. It is very beautiful and most important mantra sloka, 17th one. Angushta matraha purushontaraatma sada jananam hrudaye sannivishtaha tam swat sharirat pravruhen munjadiveshikam dhairyena tam vidyat shukram amritam tam vidyat shukram amritam. The repetition of twice, when we repeat 2 times, it means the Upanishad has come to an end. This is the last mantra. So the last in the sense, one more is there. The Purusha, the individual self of the size of a thumb, is ever seated in the hearts of all men. So one should unerringly separate him from one's body like a stalk from the munja grass. So to him, one should know that Brahman should be known as pure and immortal. So here the dhairya means the viveka. The dhairyavan Purusha should know that pure immortal Brahman, and he must, just as the munja grass is there or the stem of lotus flower is there, lotus stem of lotus, or even we call chamaku, that even that stem of that chama leaf, even that we can like this separate and we can take out the thinner layer from it. Similarly, just as that thinner layer is removed, one should be able to remove ourselves, all these non-Brahman from Brahman, which are covering that Brahman. So when once we become capable of removing all these and know I, that I itself is Brahman. So the repetition of last line indicates the end of this. So Angushta matraha purusho macha atmani tishtati. Angushta matraha purushontaratma. Thus about this several other mantras also are there. Angushta matraha purusho jyotiriva athumakaha. Then that Angushta matra Purusha is once again explaining in this mantra. Now Brahma Vidya means Atma, Anatma, Viveka, Jnana. Now the last mantra, 18th mantra is Mrityu Proktam Nachiketotha Laptva Vidyametam Yoga Vidhim Cha Krutsnam Brahma Prapto Virajaha Abhut Vimrutyuhu Anyopyevam yo vidathatyatmameva. Yo vidathati atmam eva. Nachiketa, having first become free from virtue and vice, as also from desire and ignorance, by acquiring the knowledge imparted to him by the god of death, as also the process of yoga in its totality, he attained Brahma Loka. He became Brahman. Nachiketas became Brahman. He realized himself as Brahman. So anyone else, whoever may be, all of us also, who become knower of this, thus like Nachiketa, as Nachiketa got the knowledge, if we get the knowledge, we also can get liberated. We also can become Brahman. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Of course, it is over, but the points also I want to explain because more than 40 minutes time we lost. Shall I continue now or in any other class? Because at least 20 minutes time I need now.
Okay, carry on. If you other.
Okay. So this is the end of the Upanishad. Of course, the all 18 mantras are over. But as we studied the essence of 5 valleys, we could know in the previous class. Similarly, this 6th valley, the take-home points, we can say the essence, the a 6th valley, and also little introduction also is needed for that. So the 6th valley, it completely teaches about the supreme reality, the ultimate Brahman, and how to get liberated, what happens after death to all the individuals. The mantras of this valley describe the supreme, the path of liberation, the state of Jivan Mukta Sthiti, the final union of the individual self with the cosmic self. Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapya, Varan, Nibodhata is such very beautiful sentences are there which we must follow in our life. Arise, awake. Swami Vivekananda, he got much impressed by this only, we said. Then Kshurasya Dhara, the edge of a razor, which is very sharp. So the path of attaining Brahmajnana is also as sharp as that of Kshurasya Dhara. But when once we firmly decide to acquire the real knowledge with Shraddha, we can automatically get that knowledge by Guru Upadesha and Shastra Adhyayana. These two are essential. Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. So the self is not attained by the weak, they say. Lazy people can never attain Brahman. It can be obtained by the spiritual strength with purity, noble conduct. Good conduct is very essential. Disciplined life is essential. Strong willpower too, that is mumuksha. Moktum icha must be there. Then only we can gain this knowledge. So the inner strength is more important than our physical strength, the body strength. So divinity is, it is in the universe, it is there in us also. So we must bring it out by our behavior and sadhana. Many sadhanas are given in this Upanishad. So Nirguna Upasana is there. Then mantra manana is there. Omkara is also explained and all. So meditation is the doorway to this sort of realization. So consciousness illuminates the mind. The Chaitanya illuminates our mind, our senses, and this world also. The non-dual vision creates fear. When ekatva is understood, fear would not be there. So everything changes except the consciousness, because Chaitanya, Asti is, we say part is there, object is there, this object, that object is there. That is common. Objects are different. So all these objects are going away, getting destroyed, decaying, not at all existing. But is there. That asti we must recognize, and that astitva of the asti and bhati, sat and chit are explained in this mantra slokas. So the body is like the chariot. That analogy we must always remember, which is very important for us to travel on the right track. So the self is the inner ruler. The self itself is the witness of all the things. The self silently observes everything. So that karma sakshi, who is that karma sakshi? It is I, the observer. That knowledge we must gain. So karma belongs to the body, to the mind, to the senses and all, but not to the self. Self is nishkriya. To reach the self is the goal of all spiritual paths to all the human beings. So realization is experiencing, but not any getting idea or getting novel intellectual thoughts. It is only experimental. Self experience is the real knowledge. So the one who knows self becomes free from the birth and death chain, and also Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati, they say. So Yamadharmaraja concludes finally, this is the eternal teaching. This is the secret of immortality. He who knows this becomes free. Thus, this Upanishad declares that the liberation can be obtained by the jiva by Brahmajnana. Means it does not mean jiva is separate and liberation is separate. Jiva is by nature mukta. Suttha buddha mukta. Tattva is jiva. Yet, because of the upathis, we are considering as if we are existing separate to that Atman. So, by the teachings of Yamadharmaraja, just as Nachiketa got enlightened, similarly, by the teachings of the Upanishads, if we get enlightened about our Atma, different to the body, senses, indriyas, and all, then even though we are in the body, even though all the sense organs are functioning, indriya, we are working in the society with the sense organs and all, yet we are liberated. The moment one gains the knowledge of Brahman, he is Brahman. That's all. So this is what is explained by Yamadharmaraja to Nachiketa. Thus this Upanishad declares about the liberation, mukti. The final teaching of Yamadharmaraja, the Acharya, Guru, to Nachiketa is knowing the self frees one from fear and sorrow and rebirth also. Realization comes through meditation, purity, good conduct and proper guidance. Then Atmanam Rathinam Vithi, that mantras and all, Indriyapyaha Parakyartha, all these are to be understood properly and followed in our life. If we follow them, we never go sidetracks. We make our life spiritual. So, Indriyas, these Annamaya Kosha and all Panchakosha Vichara is done in all these mantra slokas, which I explained today only. So, thus slowly, step by step, Yamadharmaraja took Nachiketa from ordinary worldly feelings to the spiritual ideas and then to Brahma Tattva. And through Saguna Brahma, he explained about Nirguna Brahma Tattva. and carried him, Nachiketa, to that Brahma Sthiti. So, Purusha naparang kinchit sa kasta sa paragatihi. So, beyond Purusha, nothing is existing. That Purusha is Parabrahman, Avyakta Nirguna Niranjana Tattva. Avyakta does not mean Sunya of Buddhas, Bauta, Darsana. Avyakta is that which is in dormant. It is there, but not Vyakta. When Avyakta Paratattva becomes Vyakta, it is world. When it, just as the spider, it comes in Mundaka Upanishad, Yathorna Napi, that example, just as the spider takes out the thread, makes this, and then again swallows it, like that, Brahman only appears in the form of the world and is again retakes that into him only. So that Chaitanya Chit Shakti, which we call Parabrahman, is the substratum for this world and all the jivas. So, mrityo samrityamapnoti ya iha naneva pashyati. In the very beginning, Neha Nanasti Kinchana, Yamatharmaraja said, it speaks about the Advaita Tattva. So, the final teaching of Kathopanishad is Advaita Jnana. Only Advaita is there. Dvaita is not there. Only oneness is there. That is why the Upanishad says, Navagachati no manaka and all. Eshonuratma chetasa veditavyo naisha tarkena matirapaneya manasai vedam aptavyam. Thus, this same idea is being repeated in several other Upanishads also. So, the ornaments are there, gold is there. Gold is the base, and ornaments would be changing only Namarupas. The goldsmith says gold only, not the ornaments. Ordinary people, we say bangles, this, that, and all, depending upon that shape. So, the akara, the form, ornaments are temporary. That is not truth. Truth is only gold. Brahman alone is truth. All the individuals, nanatva, is like the ornaments. So, that yadartha tattva in the ayadarthatva should be understood. In this anitya prapancha, what is nitya is to be known. That nitya is I, Brahman. That's what Yamatharmaraja spoke to Nachiketa, and also said that when a person leaves the body, automatically all different parts are there. Either the jiva has to, depending upon the merit or demerits of the fruits of the actions done by the jiva, either he has to take birth as birds, beasts, animals and all, or he may go to Swargaloka and enjoy and take birth again, or he may go to higher residence, Brahma, Hiranyagarbha Brahma, and get Brahma Mukti, or if he got Brahma Jnana, that very moment he got liberated. All these ideas are explained by Yamatharmaraja to Nachiketa. And also he said, Tatona Vijugupsate, several times it got repeated. Then Angushtamatra Purusha also. So, Yatha Udakam, Yathodakam Shuddhamastikam mantra has come previously. When pure water is boiled in pure water, the same water, the total water is pure only. Similarly, when Jiva enters into Paramatma, Jivatma, Paramatma, there is no entering. They are one only, one and the same. So, Jiva Brahma Aikyata is explained here. So, then both are same. In fact, Jivatma and Paramatma, Jivo Brahma Eva. But as long as ignorant darkness is there, object cannot be seen. When Ajnana is there, Brahman cannot be seen. So when Jnana comes, automatically Ajnana gets removed and we get Advaita Darshana also. So Karma Yoga is the gateway to purity of the mind. Antakarana Shuddhi is essential. Advaita Darshana leads to Kramamukti, Dvaita Darshana to Samsara. So the intellect must be very sharp and clean, and Naitika Viluvalu, as we say, morality, moral life is very essential. The Daivasara Vibhaga Yoga of Bhagavad Gita is to be observed and followed by all human beings. So the intellect must be very sharp, clean, and then unity, Jiva Brahma Aikyata takes place. So the Vedanta can be explained actually in by 4 steps. We can say Atma, Anatma, Viveka. The consciousness does not exist in me alone. It exists everywhere in all the living beings, in all living and non-living objects also. I am that all-pervading Atma. Then the next step is we must develop the feeling that the real jnana that I am not this body, nor the buddhi, nor the senses, nor the intellect, nor any of these. The relations, the everything, what all we are connecting with us, the name given to us, the position, the studies we studied, the position given to us, the works we are doing in the society, all these they are not at all mind. They belong only to body, mind, even the food, eating, hunger, thirst, everything. They are the characteristics of Atma. The Sukha Dukkha are the characteristics of mind. They are not me. I am different to all this. Asya Visram Samanasya Sharirastasya Dehinaka Dehad Vimuchya Manasya Kimatra Parisishyate Etad Vaitat, said Yamatharmaraja. The reflected consciousness that exists in this body, it leaves the body. When then what happens, what remains, this is what is asked by you. So for that I have answered. This is what Yamatharmaraja said to Nachiketa. So in the poems, in many poems in Anvaya and Vyatireka Pathati, the truth is explained. So in the presence of consciousness, the sentient body, mind, sense organs, they obtain consciousness. This is Anvaya Pathati. Then the Vyatireka Pathati is explaining if the consciousness does not exist, the body cannot function, the mind cannot function, the sense organs cannot function, and also in different manners they explain only one truth, that the witness consciousness is Brahman, that is I. So the Atma, the soul, is the substratum to everything of this world. So Atma alone exists. You wanted to know about this Atma only, about which I have explained you fully. So when a man dies, the body falls down. Then the Bimba Chaitanya is Sarva Vyapaka. Sukshma Sarira and Karana Sarira go away from one loka to another loka till a person gets liberated. For the Jnani who got mukti, there is no travel, neither travel nor rebirth. Swasti. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahanau Punaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavakai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Swasti.
Namaste. Dhanyavadaha. We have completed Kathopanishad today.
Yes.
Excellent lectures of 5 lectures. Great job for us. And we are blessed with your lectures, Mahoday. And the reality is Atma, Anatma, Vivekam is the main important point. That is probably to be understood. And what is the reality? What is temporary? That is to be seen. Chaitanya and Prakriti is difference. Jada and Apara and Para Prakriti, Jada and Chaitanya Prakriti, Chaitanya difference. These are to be understood properly. And that's very clearly explained in Kathopanishad. And Advaita Siddhanta also explained very clearly. We are very happy to associate with these programs. Now, shall we take up questions today, or shall we go to the next class?
If anybody, if they are willing, I am ready to answer. But many people left. Those who are staying, they can ask if they got any doubts.
Anybody wants to raise a question or explain something, or shall we take up next class? Okay, nobody is raising their hand, so we'll go to the...
Is it available anywhere in the book, madam? What all you have explained to us? Is there a book where we can read and little later?
So many people have written so many bhashyas, sir. You take anybody's Kathopanishad. Madam will tell you. Selection.
Shankara Bhagavad-pada and Swami Tattvavidananda's translation I follow. And
Ramakrishna
I
Matham.
created according to my own idea.
Ramakrishna Matham book is there, and Shankaracharya's Bhashyam is also there. Both are very good books. That's what she says. If we read them, the same thing will appear. If you take Viveka Chadamani, or if you take Gita Makaranda, all these things are the explanations of these Upanishads only.
Dhanyavad. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
మహోదయ
Yes.
తత్వవిధానంద గారు రాసిన బుక్ దాని టైటిల్ ఏముందండి? ఉపనిషత్
ఉపనిషత్ పేరు ఉంటుందమ్మా అంతే. ఓన్లీ దాని
Upanishad.
ఉపనిషత్ is there. Swami Tattvavidananda's translation to Shankara Bhagavad-pada's commentary. The set they are available at Anand Bagh. I brought them long back from Anand Bagh, Malkasgiri, Anand Bagh. There is a shop is not exhibited outside, but a printer is there. And I telephoned him, and he brought the full set to me of all 10 Upanishads I got.
డిఫరెంట్ గా ఉన్నాయండి అవన్నీ?
Huh?
ఒక్కొక్క ఉపనిషత్తు వేరే వేరే బుక్స్ గా ఉన్నాయి, అన్ని కలిపి ఒక దానిలో ఉన్నాయా?
All books separate, Ishavasya, then same, all 10 Upanishads separately with Swami Tattvavidananda's translation into Telugu to the commentary of Adi Shankara Bhagavad-pada.
ధన్యవాదాలు మేడం.
We'll close here. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Nidamayaha.
హ్యాండ్ రైజ్ చేశారండి లక్ష్మీ మాలతి గారు.
Lakshmi Malati garu. Okay.
అవునండి,
Yes.
ఆవిడ అడుగుతారేమో.
చెప్పండి Lakshmi Malati garu. చెప్పండి.
Namaskaram Mahoday, Namaskaram Guru Garu. First of all, thank you so much, Mahoday. It's like pouring knowledge into ears. I feel like as if we are drinking some amrutam, we are like pouring knowledge into the ears, and we hear panchakoshas and all like somewhere like we come across any videos or anything, but it's like putting together everything into a necklace. The knowledge you gave us, each is a pearl of knowledge. I have one quick question. I joined it late, sorry, but did I miss or don't know? But I heard about the Sukshma Sharira, Karana Sharira. I remember Guru Garu mentioned about description of these Shariras in detail in some Puranas. But did I miss anything about like different kinds of Shariras, like Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, and Karana Sharira? Anything did I miss, or I just want to have a little bit more about that part.
I will explain. Sthula Sharira means gross body, only the body which is visible to us with all Sapta Dhatus which is made is Sthula Sharira. Sukshma Sharira is subtle body, that is the life in us, the which is there in the form of Pancha Vayus, Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana. Then all our mind, Mano, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. Then the sense organs, Indriyas, Pancha Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, and all Jnanendriyas. These are called as together Sukshma Sharira. Then Karana Sharira is the works which we do with the Manas and Buddhi. Chanchalatmika Manaka, Nishayatmika Buddhiki we say. So what all works we did, the effect of the works that gives rise to our Karana Sharira. So these are the three bodies, Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Dehas. And
Sthula Shariram,
I will explain in detail while explaining Taittiriya Upanishad. There Panchakosha Vichara is there.
Okay, Mahadev. Yeah, so I'm just trying to visualize. It's hard. I know you said.
Taittiriya Upanishad will clarify better on these concepts.
Okay, Dhanyawad.
Yes.
Okay. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कच्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ओम शांति शांति शांतिः सत्यं वद धर्मं चर सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देव
Okay. Super.